what are some red flags when you're looking at reviews or researching products? What are some things that you as a customer should look out for?
I think one of the sort of big, sort of obvious things is just sort of be skeptical of other reviews that you see out there. And I think the reason is the world of product reviews has become so inundated with reviews that are artificial, sponsored, paid, manipulated, incentivized, in a number of different things where it's not a perfectly authentic, honest experience being shown to you. So I think everybody should have a good level of skepticism with the reviews that they're seeing for the product. Make sure that what you're seeing is not just sort of a marketing arm of the brand, but is rather something that is genuinely third party, independent, has some sort of rigorous testing protocols. Doesn't necessarily need to be as data driven as what we do on Nap Lab, but at least has something where they have the same process that they are reviewing sort of that product at scale. So that way, when they are saying, "Hey, this is the best," well, that cuts, that means something. Whenever I see sort of like just maybe like one person doing a review and say, "Oh, this is the ultimate," I mean, like it was the ultimate for that person. They had a great experience. They found a product that they liked and it met their needs, and yet they haven't tested everything. They don't really know what's out there, how it would necessarily compare. So again, just sort of I think being aware of sort of the role that reviews sort of play more broadly, and be aware that many of those can be manipulated in one or more ways.
It's like when somebody says in New York, best burger in New York. Like, okay, like there's so many burger, best pizza in New York. This is the best pizza.
Yeah.
It's like, you've tried all the pizzas. Like, what makes the best pizza? And for someone who hasn't been doing this for 10 years and has that rigor of discovery, what would be like an easy example of like what you would call a red flag? Like you talked about how do you know that it would be a consistent testing protocol or that it's not sponsored? I mean, I know that if it's sponsored, it's a little bit more difficult to discover, but how would
Yeah.
you typically know?
At least in the world of, let's call, like, professional reviewers. So somebody that they have a website, a YouTube channel, a platform. Like what they do, they test products. What I want to see, I think, is some level of transparency. I want them to explain what they're doing, why they're doing it, why that matters, and what does this information mean. A lot of times we'll see. Let's say reviewers say stuff like, "Oh, our tests, our lab are this," and then I go and try to find any information about how they're actually testing, cooling or motion or bounce or what have you, and there's just nothing there. All the visuals are there. It looks beautiful. They've got the
Mm.
photographs, they've got little charts and graphs, but it's all there's no teeth to it because
Mm.
I suspect in most of these cases that there's just really not a whole lot of actual testing going on. They know that they need to put on a good show to be at least perceived as a platform, a site, a YouTube channel that tests. But if you aren't getting into the data and aren't transparently explaining what you're doing, how do we know you're doing it? And so I have a lot of skepticism for those types of reviews, and I think a healthy level of distrust.
Yeah, that's pretty much like 90% of the reviews you could find on YouTube, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some that are they're very good, but I know for a fact it's like, oh, well, I like the color, or like this brand's great. Like they made great headphones. It's
Yeah.
like, well, why are these headphones so good?
If that brand sponsored that, not just gave them the proper testing, but they've often incentivized that it's a sponsored thing, those get really muddy as well. So it's just, yeah, I think it's really difficult to be able to sort of understand what is an authentic, genuine, honest review versus something that has been, made biased in one or more ways from all of these different factors that are at play and different sort of incentivization systems. So, sort of transparent explanation of what's going on, whether it's are you being sponsored? Did you get this product for free? How are you testing? What does that mean? How does it compare? All of those things sort of pull into what helps give me more confidence in a review. And when all those elements are there together, I'm saying, okay, like they know what they're doing. They understand how this thing could be perceived by viewers like myself, and they are explaining exactly what happened and why they did this. And when that doesn't happen, then my red flags are up, and I'm worried that I may be being sold or misled.